Hey, this is Corey from Reliance, and in today's video we're going to continue with the 100 prepper items. Today is all about backup, and what's funny is it's storming pretty bad outside, and so that's why none of the lights are on, is because the lights were flickering, and instead of having a power outage disturb this video, I'm just running everything off battery. And so having backup is allowing me to make this video for you guys, and I just think that is pretty cool. So, starting with the list, number one is power banks. Now, having a good power bank is important because it can keep your phone charged, and as more and more devices and more things transfer over to being charged with USB-C, these things become more and more required to have, right? Because there's so many things can be charged with a USB-C that having these on hand means you can charge a lot of different things, and as they become more and more versatile, they keep getting cheaper and cheaper. And so I like ones that have wireless charging so that I can just set my phone on it and just kind of forget about it. I don't have to worry about a cable. My new favorite one is this one right here. This one has 30,000 milliamp hours. It can charge my phone 6 times, which means I can go a whole week with just this one battery bank. And so I will link some of these things in the description box down below. I'm making a whole list of the 100 things that I recommend all preppers to have. In that list, I'm also going to include this charger. So this charger extends, and on the end here it has USB-C, micro USB, and then lightning bolt or thunderbolt, whatever the iPhone is called. It has all three, and so with this one cable I'm able to charge almost everything that's been made. I can charge every phone, whether it's older or newer. I can charge iPhones, whether they're older or newer. I can charge a lot of different things with just this one cable, and it's pretty small and compact, and so I will link that in the description box down below as well, because it's just having a phone means you can call for help, you can call emergency services, you can call family members, you can call friends, you can call your neighbors. You know, if you're having troubles with something, you can call for help. You can use the internet to see what's happening. You can use the internet to check the weather. You can use the internet to see how long things are scheduled to go for. You can kind of get an idea of when the storm is going to end, or when the situation is going to get better, or when things, if there's a shortage in a supply chain somewhere, you kind of have an idea of when to expect the things to be on hand again. You can call for pizza, right? If the power goes out and you don't have access to your oven or anything, you can still order a pizza, have it delivered. You can call different stores to see if they have power and see if they're open. It's such an important tool. Your phone is a very important tool, and having a backup way of keeping it charged no matter what, I think is something that everybody should have. Number two is blankets. Having backup blankets. There's just something, I have blankets and sleeping bags, but there's just something about curling up on the couch with a blanket. Just like right now, if the power were to go out right now, and the furnace won't work, nothing will work, I'll just curl up on the couch with a blanket. I'll be nice and warm and toasty. I can read a book. I can do whatever. If company comes over, I have extra blankets so that they can sleep on the couch, or they can sleep on an air mattress on the floor. Just having extra blankets to make sure that you can keep yourself warm and comfortable, but you can also keep the people that come and visit and different people warm and comfortable. So always make sure you have extra blankets. Have backup blankets on hand. Number three is a tarp, right? You never know what's going to happen. I got the storm on my mind because it's happening right now, real time. But if a branch were to come through this window, I would be able to put a tarp over it, and then when the storm passes, when everything's done, all I have to do is replace the window. I don't have to replace the window and worry about the water damage. If something happens to the roof, I can cover the roof, and I don't have to worry about fixing the roof and the water damage. If a window on my car breaks, I can throw a tarp over it. If something happens with the neighbor's camper, I can throw a tarp over it. If the air conditioner is leaking on the camper, I can throw a tarp over it. I don't have a camper, but some of my neighbors do. And then I can help out my neighbors. I can help out my parents. They have campers. And so all these different things a tarp can do for you, even if it's just throwing it up for shade in the summer, it can do so much for you. Just keeping things dry is a big one. Keeping things from getting water damage, keeping the outside from getting bugs in the house or getting critters into different places. You can just put a tarp up to keep all that stuff out. It's a very important tool. Number 4 is walkie-talkies / radios. So you can go and you can get FRS walkie-talkies. You can just talk person to person. You can get ham radios. So the ham radio you do need a license for in order to talk on it. You can listen to it all you want, but in order to push the talk button, you got to have a license. I personally have a GMRS license, so I have GMRS radios. And the advantage to these is, number 1, if something were to happen, I can stay in communication. Me and Caroline can communicate with each other. Me and my son can communicate. The 3 of us can all communicate. I can hand them out to friends and family members. I can hand them out to my neighbors, and we can all talk. I can give them FRS radios. I can have the GMRS radios, and we can all stay in communication with each other without wasting the battery on our cell phone. We can keep our cell phones charged, put away. We don't have to worry about draining the batteries. We can talk and communicate on these. We can get information and share that information as it becomes relative. There's just, communication is key. And so having a way to communicate no matter what, even if the cell phones go down, even if the internet goes down, no matter what happens, I'll always be able to stay in communication with the people I need to talk to and get information from people that actually have the information. Number 5 is a dedicated radio. AM, FM radio. This one also has shortwave. This is my favorite radio because it's so reliable. It has a hand crank, so you can charge it with the hand crank. You can charge it with the solar panel. You can put batteries in it. It's just a very versatile radio. And the reason this is so important, the reason why I want to make a big deal about this, is because there was a time when if something was going on, you'd turn the TV on and you'd watch the local news, or you would check the local news to see what was happening or what was going on. A lot of people don't have TV anymore, and the internet doesn't really keep you up to date as of what's happening right now. Right? If you're not actively looking for it online, you're not going to find it. You know what I mean? Like right now, what is happening right now? Live broadcasting doesn't really happen unless you're looking for it on the internet. So if you have a radio, you can get that live, right up to date, like same second updates live on the radio. Right? People used to do that on TV. Now a lot of people don't have TV. They have Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, all these streaming services. They have the internet where you got to look up what you want, and the Google homepage usually only has like things that came out the day before or a week ago, or just what's relative to what you've already searched. You know, there's algorithms that show you things, you know what I mean? It's not live, up-to-date information like you can get with a radio. So having an AM FM radio, knowing your local stations, like your local stations, even if it's a station you don't like, if you hate country music and your local station is a country radio station, you better know what it is so that if there's something going on, you can tune into it and get live information as it's happening. It's very important. It's not as easy as it used to be to just turn the TV on. Everybody had a TV. Everybody had the local news on the TV. There was free channels. There was cable. A lot of people, there is no more free satellite anymore. There's no more, everything went digital. And when everything went digital, a lot of people lost their TV altogether. And a lot of people are ditching cable for these streaming services. So getting that live data, that live information, that live news is kind of this is the way to do it. Number 6 is headlamps. My favorite headlamps are from Vaunt. Now, in full transparency, Vaunt sent me a 2-pack to review here on the channel. They just gave them to me and told me if I liked them to make a video on them. I did like them. I did make a video on them, and then I went out and I bought another 4-pack, and then I think Caroline went and bought another 2-pack. So I think we have 8 of these headlamps, all scattered in different kits and different locations. And I know on my channel I focus on flashlights and lanterns. I'm not a big fan of headlamps because when you're trying to talk to somebody, you always end up blinding them. When you go in to look into something and it reflects back at you, it always blinds you. You don't really have control over what you're doing. It's just a constant light in front of your face. But the thing is what they're best at is having a constant light in front of your face, which means if you're collecting firewood, if a bunch of branches go down in this storm, I'm going to be throwing a headlamp on, going out with a chainsaw, and there's no way I'm using a flashlight or a lantern to do that. If I'm going to be using a chainsaw, I need all that light. And a flashlight or a lantern casts shadows, and if I can't see what's in those shadows, or if I can't quite see what's right, it's extremely dangerous. If I'm chopping firewood, if I'm hiking down a trail, I always use a headlamp because it's lighting up everything in front of me. I can see exactly what I need to do. I can see exactly what needs to happen because I'm not getting confused, or my depth perception isn't getting altered from the shadows messing with my mind. So headlamps, even though I try to avoid them, you need them. In a case of an emergency and a backup headlamps, you're going to need them. If something happens, the headlamp's going to be the way to go in a lot of different cases. Number 7 is extra batteries. These are AA batteries, but having extra batteries on hand, if your flashlight goes out, if a lot of your devices go out, you need the batteries to replace them. I use rechargeable batteries. All of my batteries are rechargeable. The reason for that is because a long time, like I think 2017, I switched everything over to rechargeable batteries. I had a $100 flashlight with batteries in it, and the batteries died, and I went to take it apart and the alkaline batteries had leaked and ruined my flashlight. And that's a lot, for me, that's a lot of money to just throw away because of the batteries. And it was in that moment I swapped everything over to rechargeable, because rechargeable batteries don't do that. They don't leak, they don't corrode. And so my my investment or my gear is safer with the rechargeable batteries than they are with the alkaline batteries. And so that was the thing that switched me over. Everything in this house is rechargeable batteries. I don't have any alkaline. And then the other thing is, I don't want to, if I need batteries, I can just charge them. I live here in Minnesota, so I could end up with 6 feet of snow. The roads could be glare ice, and I don't want to be dependent on having to run to a convenience store or running to a Walmart to get batteries. All I need is power. If I have power, even if I'm using a power bank, I can charge those batteries and I can get whatever I need going again. So having extra batteries, I prefer rechargeable because, again, it gives me control over making sure that I have them when I need them. But again, it's up to you what kind of batteries you want to store. Number 8 is, if I'm going to have rechargeable batteries, I need a way of charging them. This is an X-Tar charger. I've gone through quite a few chargers, battery chargers. This one right here, I wish I would have started with. This is the one that I wish I would have gotten a long time ago. This one has a lot of information on the display. It tells me exactly what's going on, and so it's, a lot of the other chargers have like a battery indicator and it blinks and it tells you once it's full or half full or 3/4 full. This one tells me the exact milliamp hours that battery has. it has a storage mode, and so I can put batteries in here and store them, and it'll discharge them and recharge them and keep them topped off and keep them healthy, so that when I need that battery, I can just take it and go, and I know that it's topped off, I know that it's healthy, I know that it's going to work. It's USB-C rechargeable, so again, I can use my power banks, I can use my cell phone charger to charge batteries. It's got 4 bays. A lot of the other chargers that I use only had 2, which when you're running with 18650 or AA batteries, a lot of things take 2 AA's or 1 18650. But like my headlamps take 3 AAA batteries. Well, then you got to charge 2 of them, and then you got to charge the third one, and then you can use them again. Or this, I can charge all 3 batteries at the same time, and I can charge an 18650, so I can charge my headlamp and my flashlight at the same time. I'm going to make a dedicated video on this. I'm still trying to learn all of the information that this thing gives me, and I'm trying to learn the different modes and what exactly the different modes are doing. But as soon as I have a good understanding of what this thing is doing and what it's capable of, I'm going to make a dedicated video just on this charger. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see that. Next is solar panels. Now you can go out and you can buy lots of solar panels. There's lots of huge solar panels out there. You can get 1,000 watts worth of solar panels, and you can run your whole house on solar, right? But even if you just get one of these tiny little solar panels, this is a Big Blue 28 watt solar charger. Now this is just a charger. There's no battery bank in here, so it's not going to hold a charge. It's just going to charge. But what this allows you to do is if there is sun, you can charge your battery banks. And so you use the solar panel to charge your battery bank, and then you use your battery bank to charge your batteries and your cell phone and all the different things. And then you have, all you need is sun. Again, you don't have to worry about going to the convenience store. You don't have to worry about running to Walmart or whatever. You can just have what you need. You can be reliant on yourself. You personally have what you need to take care of your battery banks, make sure your batteries are charged, make sure all of your backup equipment is working properly because of the solar panel. And there's lots of different solar panels. I'm not a big expert in solar panels, okay? I have 3 that Rockpal sent me. I have this one that I bought with my own money. I have a Fox Ellie and an Anchor that I bought with my own money. So I don't have a lot of experience, but from my personal knowledge is whatever the wattage is, so this is 28 watts, cut it in half. If it's a 20 watt panel, you'll probably get 10 out of it. If it's 100 watt, you'll probably get 50. This I get about 14 watts. It might just be from where I live, or it might be, I don't know why, but in my personal experience, whatever the wattage is, I always cut it in half, and that's what I expect to get out of it. So keep that in mind. I don't know if it's going to be accurate in your area, but it sure is accurate in mine. Number 10 is chairs. I don't know how many times you go to an event or you go to somewhere and there's not enough chairs, and everybody's standing around and their knees hurt and their back hurts and their feet hurt and they're uncomfortable and they don't want to be there and they don't want to deal with the things that they need to deal with. The chair that I'm sitting in is a Dura Lounge, and again, I'll leave affiliate links in the description box down below. I take this backpacking with me. When I go, if I'm hiking 2-3 miles, having a nice comfortable chair that I can relax in, that I can, take care of my limbs with, relax, wrap a blanket around and just be comfortable and enjoy sitting next to the fire, being able to sit around and talk to everybody and come up with a plan. If I'm working outside, having some chairs outside that we can sit down and have a discussion and figure out what we need to do, have little coffee breaks or sandwich breaks or sit down to enjoy lunch. It makes everything so much better. I don't know why more and more people don't talk about how important a chair is. Every event you go to, every single thing you do, you go to a concert, you buy a seat. You go to some venue, you buy a seat. You go to a restaurant, you're sitting down to eat. Everything has chairs, but when it comes to being comfortable in an emergency situation, nobody brings up chairs. Nobody brings up being able to sit down and think clearly without having to worry about your knees hurting, your back hurting, your feet hurting, right? Chairs are important. There's a reason they are everywhere, right? Everywhere you go has chairs because they're important. Make sure you have extras. Make sure you have some on backup so that when people come over, you can sit down and do what you need to do. You can think clearly. You can relax and let your muscles heal. Get a chair. Number 11, we got a couple bonuses on this one because I know a lot of people aren't going to think that a chair is necessary, but it is. But number 11 is a power station / generator. Ideally, I wish I had a 2,000 watt power station that I could charge with my solar panels, and it's quieter, it's efficient. I can charge it with my solar panels, so I'm not reliant on the gas station or extra fuel lying around. I wish I could have a giant power station, but they are so expensive that I just can't spend that much money just to have a power station lying around, right? So a gas generator is what I use. I have a 3,500 watt gas generator that can run my sump pump, my deep freeze, my refrigerator and freezer combo. It can run everything I need it to run in order to keep everything safe and working properly and dry and frozen and whatever I need. Yes, it's loud. Yes, it requires fuel. Yes, I need to stabilize that fuel and make sure that I keep the carburetors clean. I need to keep extra spark plugs on hand. The generator is not as good as the power station, but it's so much more affordable. Just that cost-wise alone trumps all the benefits of the power station. Yes, I would rather have a power station if we were just looking at this versus that. I'd rather have a power station. But if you can't afford a power station, the gas generator is better than nothing. So keep that in mind. I know that everybody's pushing for power stations and solar generators, and they're so much better in 100 different ways. But if you can't afford it, a gas generator is more affordable, and it's better to have something than nothing. And then number 12, we got a bunch of extras on this one. This is the last one on the list. Number 12 is prescription glasses, reading glasses, whatever you need to see. These are blue light blockers for when I edit this video later. I need them for the computer. And so, glasses. If you lose a contact, if the glasses you're wearing break, you need a backup pair of glasses so that you can continue to see, so you can continue to do what needs to be done. If you need reading glasses, you need a backup pair of reading glasses because, again, if the ones that you always use break, you need a backup pair so that you can continue to read and, especially look at your phone to see what's happening, why it's happening, when you plan on, if you need to bug out, where you need to bug out to. There's so much information, and if you can't read it, you're at a severe disadvantage. And if you can't see, you're at an even bigger disadvantage. So make sure that you have extra pairs of glasses on hand. And with that being said, in the comment section down below, I want to know how much of this stuff do you actually own? How much of this stuff do you have on hand as backups to the things that you always use? Let me know in that comment section. Make sure you subscribe because I got a lot more videos coming out. I think we got 6 more videos on this 100 prepper items. I'm going to do individual videos on a lot of this gear, so subscribe if you haven't already. Thumbs up this video so that it gets shared to even more people, and I can't wait to see you on my next one.